Hello, this is Alyssa, and today I want to talk about enhancing your render by using the rule of thirds. I went ahead and selected a view, and then I went and gave myself a safe frame, and this is where I'm at. I made sure that my Z location and Z target are at an appropriate height. When I did the safe frame, it automatically populates where you can see your crossbars in thirds. And as you can see, the horizon is not on one of these thirds. And when working in interior views, this is often the case. So what we're going to do is when we capture the render, we're actually going to change this viewport ratio so that we can crop it down to where our horizon line is on a third. When I was selecting my view, I made sure to select a view that had some foreground, some middle ground, and some far background to give an image with depth. I also wanted to, in this render, capture some certain lighting conditions and some certain curves of the model. It's going to be important to capture something that's interesting. You may not necessarily want to capture the most information. It might be something that is tuned down to tell part of a picture of your model. When I go to capture the render, I'm going to change the settings to make it more of a square and cut it down to that 1/3 being on the horizon. When I go to capture this in Enscape, I know that I'm going to be cutting this down to get some rule of thirds going for this image. So I'm making sure that even though having foreground is important to me, I'm making sure that I'll be able to crop some of it out. After I open the image in Photoshop, I'm going to get some guidelines going at those 1/3 marks. So we can start to see where we want to have our horizon. Determining where that horizon is might be a little bit tricky, but you can always follow the lines in your drawing that you know are horizontal. In theory, because our height and our target were the same, it's going to be in the middle. So it'll be along this line. What we want to do is we want to move the horizon down to here to use the rule of thirds. We can crop and keep the same aspect ratio if we prefer, or we can of course change it as well depending on what our board is calling for. Now, because I changed the size, I'm going to change the 1/3 marks at this point. The horizon is still a little high, so I'm going to crop it one more time. I also readjusted the guidelines at 1/3. Recalculated. Now we have the horizon on the 1/3 line. We also have the majority of the focal points or impacts of this image in the middle section. There's a balance of light and shadow. And that is how one can use the 1/3 rule or the rule of thirds to produce a compelling perspective render. Thank you.